Hello, good evening, and welcome to the virtual race. We're here. Hello, is it me you're looking for? 'Cause I can see it in your eyes. Yeah, it's working now. Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Virtual Racers Club for our second race this evening in the Super Touring cars, the Group 3 cars. Me controller turned off. I must have gone too far from the stick. I wanted to make a coffee, you see, and now I'm scared to leave. But nothing's happening at the moment. Here, you can watch Homesick Alien nip around the Nürburgring. He's reversing up. Yeah, he's having a nifty. He's going to get fined heavily, 50 grand, I reckon, from the FIA for that. It's definitely a 50 grand. Right, let's see if I can quickly make a coffee. G'day. See, did have time to make a coffee, and ironically, I had hot dogs for dinner. So it's proper New York. Hey, forget about it. Hey, I'm walking here. You know, I had hot dogs for dinner. I'm having a coffee. What you talking about? So here we go then. We've got another race here at Nürburgring, another 30-minute race. The weather is it's undecided, to tell you the truth. I'm not going to start turning into one of these weather people. Look, the random thing is the random thing. There is rain, was forecast. I am not a foreseer or anything. I'm just telling you what was in the brief. And the brief said, bring your wet tyres, because it might get a little wet. Ooh, I love it when it gets wet. So, Jan in the chat saying, good evening. Hello, Jokas. And Homesick Alien out there after reveling in his win. And we heard what some of his radio tunes were as he was flying around. I think he's listening to Pink Fluffy Clouds by The Orb now. So, make of that what you will. Guesty, he was tenacious in that first race. His Mitsubishi's got a very loose back end, and he showed us how loose a back end he's got. And he was virtually, what is it called when all the young uns bump their bums up and down? Twerking. He was positively twerking out there in race 1. So let's see if Guesty can keep that bum of his under control. But he had a great drive, finished second. Talleyrand's asking now if we're ready. Now I'm nearly nervous because I've missed the beginning of the first race because I was too busy looking at an empty track. So as soon as those guys, as soon as they disappear, I've got to be on it. I don't know whether or not to go in. I don't know what the warning is. There was no timer come up, you see. It just went blank and they went, unless there was a timer and I was just too busy jibber jabbering away. I don't know what to do. I don't know whether or not to go into the lobby and then spectate again, or just wait until they all disappear. Well, if they all disappear, then I just need to be swift and move it. Let me see you move it. I wanna move it. And there we go. See, now I've got to exit that and then get into spectate as quickly as possible. There they are. And then, you get to see all this horrid stuff. And I've got to try and do it. And the rain has come, hasn't it? As quickly as you could say, it is dreary out there. It's not actually raining, the meter. And there they go. They're off now. Homesick Alien leading them away from Guesty. And it is quite a dismal out there. Oh no, it's a rolling start, is it? That's weird. They usually have like really long rolling starts. I've never seen a rolling start like that. That's awesome. So Homesick Alien leads them away. It is drizzly. You can see the rain. And Guesty's going for an early move, but Joker's as well. It's all stagnating up in the first corner, and Pat's trying to get his Mitsubishi under control, as is Joker's with the Hyundai. And Homesick Alien so far leads them away from Guesty in his Mitsubishi, and Talleyrand in the BMW in third, ahead of Noxie, with Pat in there as well. With the rain coming down, they're showing there's still grip there. They're on their racing softs. No one braved it on the intermediates at the beginning of this race. How long will they last? How long will they stay out? That is the question. Joker's looking like he's struggling already, but Homesick Alien leads them away from idiots. And then if it goes above the second bar, I've heard, that's when you need wet tyres. So that's what these guys will be looking at. As well as the track, they'll be looking at that meter for how dry the track is. I like to think of it as standing water, as the depth of the water. And at the moment, it's not too bad. They should be able to still get some good grip with these softs, and Guesty's gone for the move around the outside, and Guesty found a bit of grip that Homesick Alien just could not find in that chicane. And Guesty now takes the lead of this race ahead of Homesick Aliens and Mazda. Talleyrand in third place, Pat in fourth. Pat's got himself ahead of Noxie as they make their way around, none of them into the pits. It's dry enough, they think, dry enough. On board with Noxie. Oh, there you go. It does look rather, looks a lot more dry in their car. Oh, and Noxie's got a face full of Mustang there. He wants to get himself by under. into the apex. There was a wide open door there, but Pat just casually closed that door and said, "Not today, Noxie." And Noxie still on it, on the back of the Mustang, as Pat chases down the BMW ahead of him of Talleyrand's. And Guesty, what an absolute move on Homesick Alien. At the moment, he's holding that lead. You can see him going into the hairpin. Homesick Alien not too far behind him. Grip levels seem okay out there. It's not too bad for these guys. It's dried up, if anything. It's got drier, so they were lucky not to start on anything other than the racing softs, because it looks like it's gone full on dry. Sweet stuff. And that looks like that was our rain for the day. Guesty now, though, he's got the pressure as the track dries up. Homesick Alien is pushing on. He's pushing on indeed. And he wants to find himself back in that lead as they come up towards the chicane. And Guesty has it covered. Homesick Alien carrying a lot of speed in there at Scupper it mid-corner to avoid a bump as the blue skies come back over the Nürburgring. It's going to turn out to be a rather pleasant day, and the race is on. Homesick Alien getting the fastest lap of the race so far, half a second behind Guesty in second place. Sorry, you've got to cycle the cameras to get back to this. I know, shocking, isn't it? And Pat saying porpoising. I haven't seen much lag, to tell you the truth. It's not been too bad. Guesty leads. Homesick Alien in second. He's giving him a race though. Talleyrand, as the sun comes back out, is closing in on those two ahead of him. 1.5 seconds as Noxie still under pressure from Pat. Pat giving it his all behind Noxie. Although Noxie was behind Pat, wasn't he? So yeah, Noxie's got ahead of Pat somewhere. Oh, Pat's had to come off the accelerator heavy there, and that's given Noxie a good couple of tenths ahead to play with. Hang on, so I had a sneeze coming. And Joker's closing back up to Pat, and the weather is fine. It's great. Grab a towel. Guesty then, in the wetter conditions, got the move done on Homesick Alien, and now Homesick Alien just gets to look at the back of the Mitsubishi for the next few laps, unless he can find something to make the move on the Lancer. Then he is stuck. Oh, and you can see we saw the back end of that Mitsubishi was very lively in race one, and there again we saw it just wanting to step out on Guesty, but Guesty fought it into control. These two were up against each other in the Ferrari championship that we recently had. It all boiled down to the final race, very close, Bunny, Guesty and Homesick Alien, and Guesty in the end came out on tops like he is at the moment. Elsewhere on track, what do we have? Talleyrand 2.5 seconds behind these guys, battling it out. Noxie starting to catch up with Talleyrand in his BMW. Pat in fifth in the Mustang. And oh, Jokers must have made a mistake. He's dropped right away from the pack, and he was just catching up with Pat as well in his Hyundai. And that is a huge shame. Huge shame. So Guesty 4 tenths ahead of the Alien. Could this be down to tyre wear? Come the end, we saw in the first race, the last sort of 7 or 8 minutes, the tyres were starting to go away from them. They weren't getting the pace out of the cars they were earlier in the race, even though the fuel tanks were lowering. We weren't sure if the track was getting cooler. I imagine Talleyrand has felt he's been mugged off from the random weather thing, with it drying up so quickly after just one lap of two laps maybe in the wet. But Talleyrand in a solid third spot at the moment, looking for a podium. He's not staying at the same pace as the boys ahead of him. Homesick Alien hasn't dropped more than a second back from Guesty since Guesty got by him. And it's a solid fight out there. Guesty with the fastest lap. Oh, Guesty's back end again. It looked like he was going from him, but he snatched her up, and he continued on his way. He's doing an absolutely superb job, with the Alien giving him a lot of grief out there. Talleyrand then 7/10 ahead of Noxie. Noxie is coming back at Talleyrand in this race. Noxie did his fastest lap the last time around at 56.5, and he's going faster again. Talleyrand did a 56.7. So, oh god, bloody buttons. So sat alongside Noxie in his BMW. We can see his view as he chases down Talleyrand's BMW. It's looking absolutely gorgeous. The weather is beautiful. It really is. Nice summer's day. Apart from that little shower for half a lap. It's turned out quite nice. So that's me. What I've learned from this stream is don't talk about the weather. It doesn't matter what weather they put. Just don't talk about it, because you never know what you're going to get. Like a box of chocolates. Now Talleyrand pulling away. We saw Noxie getting closer to Talleyrand, but ooh, he's had to have a major lift in the chicane there. Went in rather hot. Lost a whole chunk of time to Talleyrand for it. How does that do? He's alright though. He's got a couple of seconds on Pat, who's behind him in fifth. Pat doing a 59.3 that last time around. Noxie doing a 57.8 with that huge lift in the chicane. Talleyrand a 56.5. Now Homesick off. Maybe I can't cut away from these two. They are absolutely at it. Homesick Alien sideways action in the Mazda, pushing the absolute beeswax out of them tyres to try and keep up with Guesty and maybe attack Guesty as well. But Guesty on his game today, hasn't put a foot wrong. He's got the fastest lap as well, and you can see Talleyrand lurking in the distance there in third spot. And these two, if they get racy too much, they will slow each other down, and then Talleyrand will be in striking distance. So one to watch out for. We're just over coming to 11 minutes of this 30-minute race. And Guesty has done an unbelievable job in race 1. He grabbed himself second place after an unlucky start, and now in race 2 in the wet, making an incredible move around the outside on Homesick Alien, and then the rain went away, and he's driven nothing but solid since, but it's later in this race when those tyres start feeling a bit old. He might struggle with the Alien. Never any further than a second back since the overtake. And Homesick Alien going faster than he's gone before with a 56.0. Talleyrand now 3 seconds behind those guys, but he's 3 seconds ahead of Noxie, whom is 12 seconds ahead of Pat, whom is only 2.5 seconds ahead of Joker. So Joker's has got a target, he's got something to aim at. Did a 58.6 his last time around. Pat doing a 2.04. That's where he lost on lap 6, and that has given Jokers an in. Guesty, meanwhile, only 6/10 ahead of Homesick Alien. Let's sit alongside the Alien as he chases Guesty down. And you can admire the blue skies. Summer's day there at the Nürburgring. Ooh, the Alien having to catch the Mazda there coming out of the corner. They are feisty, these cars. They really are. And that is why they are called the Super Touring cars. And it's looking absolutely delicious. I am loving this. I'm eager for some championships to kick off. I know there's a worry about the lobbies, people getting in. It is unfair to run a championship if not everyone can take part. Like we see with Digital Blasphemy tonight, has had some real mares getting into the lobby. And if he was part of a championship, that's scuppers his championship chances. Even with drop scores, it happens too often. It puts people off. They don't want to come back every week. So I understand the holding back from championships. But I don't know, these Talleyrand run evenings we've been having on Friday, I've enjoyed all of them. I really do. I think any one of them could be. From the MTCC exhibition race we had last to this Super Touring car. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Let's get it on. Let's get it going. I'm too impatient. Too impatient, that's my problem. So Homesick Alien, he can't get the move done on Guesty, and at the moment he looks like he's not losing pace to him. He's getting purples, so he's gaining pace, if anything. This camera angle, it does make you wonder if that car's just stepping away from us, but it's not. It's there. It's solid. He's doing the job. We should have a look. Oh, he saw a big open door there, but he was just too far back. Anything to distract Guesty. If Guesty is having a look in his side mirrors at the time, you would have seen Alien make a darting move, and he may have just tried to defend it without realising how far back the Alien was. So it's all mind games out there. Right then, let's have a look around the field. This race is absolutely exciting. We're halfway through. 30 minutes in, 15 minutes in of this 30-minute race, and nothing between Guesty and Homesick Alien out there, battling it out for the lead. Homesick Alien, the winner of race one. That back end again of the Mazda letting him down out the chicane, giving Guesty a chance to rabbit and gain a bit of ground. Talleyrand only 8/10 ahead of Noxie, so Talleyrand dropping back, but his times don't reflect that unless it's this lap. It could be this lap. Looks like it's going to be in the 2 minutes. 1:59, so he's lost some time in this lap, and Noxie caught him up beautifully. 57.9 and a 56.6. The last two laps from Noxie, getting some good pace out of his BMW, catching up Talleyrand as Talleyrand making a small mistake and losing a bit of time out there, and giving Noxie an opportunity for another podium. So Noxie eager to get on the steps again, taste a bit of champers. The battle with Pat and Jokus continues further back, and there's only 6/10 in it, so Jokus really closing up. Sit aside Jokus in his lovely Virtual Racers Club overalls as he chases down the Mustang. He's just done the fastest lap he's done with a 58.1, and he's going faster again in the sectors. He's onto the apex there in third, cutting down the speed. No, he's trying it in third. No, knocks it down to second. Oh, beautiful stuff there from Jokus there, line perfect through the corners as he chases down the Mustang into a heavy braking zone now, down to second gear. He goes into third, knocks it to second, just gets on that apex, brings her around. He's a little wide coming out of it, but he's all good. Up through the gears, through Schumacher's curve or whatever they call it. He's 1.2 seconds behind Pat. Pat doing a super job keeping Jokus at bay, because Jokus is driving line perfect at the moment, putting the pressure on to Pat. He's gained a couple of tenths just through that part of the track alone, and he's chasing him down. Guesty still leads from Homesick Alien, with Talleyrand in third place. Talleyrand in that battle with Noxie as we go through the chicane. Every time it seems like you take your life in your hands as Pat rounds that final corner. Joker's chasing him down, and it's 1.3 seconds, that time seesawing between the two of them, and this battle continues on and on. Guesty though 4 tenths ahead of the Alien. What a battle these two are having. 18 minutes into this race, and these two haven't been further than a second apart either way. And now Homesick Alien looks like he's lining up Guesty for a move. Has he smelt a weakness? Has he seen something in the Mitsubishi that he can do that it can't? And he is really on the tail of Guesty at the moment. The Mazda looking stronger as we're coming up to the 19th minute of racing. Talleyrand still in third in that battle with Noxie. And at the moment, Homesick Alien is the fastest lap holder. Has he looked after his tyres better, possibly? Let's have a look. Tyres are pretty similar between the two drivers. Guesty did a 56.2 his last time around, where Homesick Alien doing a 55.6. So yeah, Homesick Alien really is starting to pile the pressure on, but Guesty's just soaking up that pressure in the Mitsubishi as he crosses the line to start lap 11. Still leading from the Alien, but the Alien getting a toe into that first corner. But the first corner, it's a brave man to try and put his car up the inside. Such a corner there, and Homesick Alien looks like he's drawing closer, but Guesty, oh, it looks like the Mazda is a lot quicker through these tighter corners than the Mitsubishi. The Mitsubishi under immense pressure from Homesick Alien. Guesty survives again, but this does look like it's a fight for survival for Guesty at the moment. The Mazda looking stronger. Well, Homesick Alien and the Mazda looking stronger as the Mazda has a wiggle. Squirrels out the corner. Talleyrand nearly 9.5 seconds behind that battle, but he's pulled 4 seconds out on Noxie, and he's done it through lap times. He's done a 56.0 and a 57.4. And Noxie staying in the 57s and 58s, where 20 minutes into the race, last 10 minutes to go, and the skies look blue all the way. Jokus all over the back of Pat. We saw him catching Pat up in the Mustang. Pat saying he's not had a lot of time to practice or find a tuning for the car and this track, so he's searching his way as he drives around, and Jokus closing the gap to him increasingly. Oh, and Pat's made a huge mistake through the Schumacher, and that has given Jokus the position up into 5th place for Jokus. Oh, for heaven's sake, sorry guys. And again, sorry, I've not been great this week. I've had a bug. So Jokus doing a super job up into 5th place. Poor Pat, just the Mustang catching him out in the uphill chicane. Guesty is 1.4 seconds. That's probably the biggest distance I've seen him from the Alien. As the Alien cooked his tyres, we saw him squirreling out of that corner, and maybe that is where he lost that time to Guesty, and he's trying to chip back into the lead. Homesick Alien still the fastest lap holder here for this second race. Talleyrand having a bit of a lonely race now. In third spot, Noxie can still see him. The two Beamers back to back again. I think we saw that in the first race. But Noxie, I think, is in the M3, and I think Talleyrand's in the M6. Jokus in the Hyundai, we saw him just missing Pat, as Pat made a small mistake and added off, and Jokus, quick reflexes, avoided him and got ahead in 5th, and now he's 4.6 seconds ahead of him. And Pat's got to dig deep to find a few seconds now on Jokus, as Homesick Aliens trying to close that gap up to Guesty again. He's going for another attack as we hit the last 7 minutes of this race, and it's been an absolute cracker of a race. It wasn't the wet race we thought we were going to get, which I imagine a couple of the drivers are quite relieved about. And at the moment, Guesty is leading from Homesick Alien, but these two have battled the whole stint with each other, and it's been glorious to see. Talleyrand, solid 3rd place. He's ahead of Noxie, but it's not over and done with yet. Still got 4 minutes to go, which is a couple of laps and a bit of change. A sip of my warm beverage. See why the two most recent champions are the champions. Oh, Homesick Alien saw a gap, decided to go for it. He's made contact, and oh no, oh, we should be out of the car for that. I have one button I used to have. I could have jumped that quick instead of pressing half a dozen. So there you go. Homesick Alien saw a small gap, put his nose in there. Looked like, I thought there was a small bit of contact, but Guesty just clung on around the outside, and Guesty managed to stay in the lead. And that Homesick Alien, though, has he got Guesty rattled? This is an absolutely tantalising battle we've got for the lead between Guesty and Homesick Alien, and that Mazda looks like it wants to jump off the track at any given opportunity. Talleyrand, again, I think their lap times are dropping away. Not Talleyrand's, he's still in the 56s, he's doing a super job. Oh no, what's happened? I heard screeching, and Homesick Alien now leads from Guesty. And that was just when, oh my word, in the first corner. Brakes. But Homesick Alien now leads the race ahead of Guesty. Unbelievable stuff. As we were watching Talleyrand cross the line. And Talleyrand has pulled these guys in. He was 10 seconds behind them. As Guesty's tyres gone. They're about the same as Homesick Aliens, but he does look like he's struggling with a bit of grip out there, does Guesty. As Homesick Alien looking more comfortable in the Mazda, screeching all over the place. And, Talleyrand in that 3rd spot, 7.5 seconds behind Guesty. And I don't know, is Guesty's tyres done? Has he got other issues? He's lost a chunk of time to the Alien. Homesick Alien, 3 seconds now. And something is not right in that Mitsubishi. He's losing power. Something. He's losing hands of time. Shed loads of time. Talleyrand has nearly halved his distance from Guesty in these last couple of laps. It's looking grey again. Possibly maybe the track's gone cold and the Mitsubishi is not happy with it. Noxie in 4th, he's 11 seconds behind Talleyrand. Joker still in 5th, 19 seconds behind Noxie. and he's 14 seconds ahead of Pat. Pat's having some real struggling coming the end of this race. Like Guesty, very similar to Guesty, Pat's suddenly lost a lot of downforce, and I don't know, it's looking grayer, so maybe the track's cooling down and it's not suiting Guesty's style. I don't know. It's looking decidedly cloudier in play. Look at me, I'm playing weatherman again. I said I wasn't going to do that, but these drop off in times. Even Homesick Alien's in the 57s. Guesty a 2:02 on his last lap. Talleyrand doing a 57, which he's been doing 56s. So there's definitely, it's got to be the tyres, hasn't it? Noxie, solid drive in his BMW. But now it's, what we're looking at is Talleyrand versus Guesty. As we've only got a minute and a half left of this race. Homesick Alien has opened up the Mazda. He's got the fastest lap anyway in this race, and he's going to get the double win tonight, it would seem. But he's had to work for the second one. The first one came quite easy. He was listening to the radio. But this one, he's had to fight for that. Guesty giving it his all. But these last couple of laps lost a bit of edge, a bit of performance in the Mitsubishi. Seems to have it's dropped off a cliff somewhere. And we're seeing what this lap time's like. It might have just been a mistake, operator error. You never know. He's maintaining that 3 seconds. Homesick Alien pulled 3 seconds out, but hasn't pulled any more out on him. In fact, he's lost a bit of time. And Guesty back in the 56s, so yeah. Curiouser and curiouser. It must have been Guesty making a mistake in somewhere around. Homesick Alien did a 58.1 his last time around, but maybe he's easing off. 30 seconds left on the clock. Talleyrand in third. Noxie crossing the line to start his final lap. And Jokers, will he get to the line before it runs out? No, I don't. Oh, he might do. Jokers gets to finish the final lap. Whereas Pat, I think that timer has now gone. And this will be Pat finishing the race in 6th place. He just, like I said, didn't get enough practice with the Mustang. A good showing. So, Homesick Alien. So, that was so weird, because Guesty is coming back out the Alien now at the end of this race. Homesick Alien, I'm sure, is just managing his car. All he has to do is go past 2 more corners. No, a few more corners than that. Where's the... No. Yeah, about 4 or 5 corners to take the win. So, Homesick Alien cruising on. Guesty pushing to the max all the way to the line. There's always an opportunity. And you never know, Homesick Alien might make a mistake coming into the final couple of corners. But it looks like Homesick Alien has got it all under control. Into the final corner to take his second win of the evening, and that is a grand slam with the fastest lap, pole and race win. Guesty comes home in second, great drive. Talleyrand in third, take a boo, my son, great driving. Noxie in fourth in the second BMW, cracking drive from the Noxter. He takes the flag for fourth, and Joker's just coming into the chicane in his Hyundai, and bringing her around that final corner to take himself 5th place in this race. And what a beautiful pair of races we had there. Cracking stuff. Well done, Jokers. Superb. And it was these two today were the showstoppers. Great stuff. Awesome. And yeah, that rain, it just didn't kind of materialise, did it? Really? It's piddling it down now. I can hear it. It's absolutely chucking it down now. The race is done. So that is a little taster of GT7 and what's in store for you in the future. We've got some great ideas. When they fix the lobbies, it's going to be absolutely cracking. Just wait. Just got to be a bit patient. And Pat in the chat says, well, I've technically finished first in each race, even if it's only... yeah, so that was the Super Touring Car event. Oh, hopefully there's more week ahead. I think we've got a couple of new series that started. Calendar. Where would that be? Calendar. Does anyone know what the date is? It's 13th. Ooh, Friday the 13th. How scary. Oh dear, one was being slow. Yeah, May. Friday the 13th. We've just had that. So there, this Sunday, tune in to our first round of the RS Challenge. Those crazy Ford Focusers are going to be pelting it around a few tracks for your pleasure Sunday evening. So do not miss that. Hit like, hit subscribe, do whatever you need to do, but do not miss the RS Challenge coming this Sunday. Then on Tuesday, we have the first round of the GT3 World Endurance. What's the S stand for? World Endurance Survey? World Endurance... Where's? World Endurance... yeah, well, it's the World Endurance... What's the S stand for? It's not league, not championship. World Endurance Series. So, join us on Tuesday evening live for the GT3 World Endurance Series Round 1. Yes. And I think with the big space left open for Thursdays, I have heard one or two people saying they may do things. I'd like to see just like the Alfa Romeo 155s. I drove it the other day because it was in the showroom. I purchased it, and yes, I've got to say, big thumbs up to the Alfa Romeo, and I'd like to see a single series race with those. That would be awesome. Pat in the chat saying series. I kept looking at the chat, Pat, hoping you were gonna save me, but I remembered myself in the end. So yeah, this week coming, or the end of this week, I suppose. Sunday night we have the Focusers, and on Tuesday night we have the GT3s. Join us for all of that. Huge thank you for Talaran for putting this evening on for our pleasure. And I was your broadcaster and your commentator, Seymour Butts. Thank you for watching, and check us out for Sunday evening for a little Ford Focus action. Peace and love. Peace and love. Your mum.